Welcome to New Mexico, land of enchantment. This is Bronco, Texas, the last city, call it a city, a small town on the Texas-New Mexico border, the last town in Texas on Highway 380. This is a farming community, and as you can see around, it's just, you can hear farm equipment behind me, but basically just farmland. Few scattered houses, the sun's coming up, but this is Bronco, Texas. I'm getting ready to enter for our trip to New Mexico. This is the land that Billy the Kid spent his most adventurous days in, and this is the type of land that he traveled all the time, quite often. When it's cold, and when the sun was out and it was summer, the sun beat down on you. Welcome to New Mexico. Now we're going to take a small tour of parts of New Mexico that affected Billy the Kid. Pat Garrett was responsible for a lot of this land being developed out here. He was one of the pioneers in developing irrigation out here. So we would like to say a little tribute to Pat Garrett as well as Billy the Kid. Thank you. I'm on Highway 380, just a few miles to the Texas side of Roswell, New Mexico. They have the bottomless lakes out here, recreation area, which is absolutely beautiful. It's out in this area out here, there's a lake with paddle boats and RV spaces. Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid and other cowboys and rustlers used to bring their cattle down here to water them in that lake that's down there. And Pat Garrett used to live out in here somewhere years ago. This is Pat Garrett territory, and Billy the Kid and Pat Garrett cowboying or rustling or whatever you want to call it territory. Next we'll go to Roswell, New Mexico. This bottomless lakes is one of the most beautiful places in America. It's a recreation area, camping area. Downtown Roswell, New Mexico, a part of downtown, is a thriving, very busy and very beautiful city. Living here would be kind of like living in the 50s. A lot of retired military people. Just a really nice city. Deputy Poe, who not only replaced Pat Garrett later, became a very influential banker and leader here in Roswell, New Mexico. Don't you think it's kind of strange that this man who was a lawman supposedly let the wanted outlaw Billy the Kid walk right in on his boss Pat Garrett, right by him, which is a dereliction of duty. I wouldn't want him supporting my back and guarding my back. This guy supposedly let Billy the Kid walk right through, right by him into the room with Pat Garrett and Pete Maxwell, and yet he becomes a leading citizen and a sheriff and all that? I don't think so. If that were the true story, I don't think so. He should have been fired if that's true. He knew what Billy the Kid looked like. These guys camped out, spent nights and days talking about Billy the Kid all the way when they're riding on horses. Took a long time. This is Deputy Poe's area. This is the official scenic historic marker for Lincoln. I'm just outside the old town of Lincoln. The beautiful town of Lincoln, much like it used to be in years gone past. I'll stop this and then we're going to go into Lincoln and see the Lincoln County Jail and the old buildings in Lincoln, New Mexico. At Lincoln city limits, there's Lincoln, is the Ellis store, established 1876. Most certainly Billy the Kid was here quite often. It's falling apart, it's old, but this is beautiful Lincoln. Look at the hills back behind it. Billy the Kid had to escape through those hills sometimes. Beautiful Lincoln. This is a better view of the Ellis store. Established 1876. It was on the McSween side, the Billy the Kid side. And Billy the Kid spent a lot of time right here on this property. Lincoln County Jail. can see the bright side, the top right window of the bright side on the left. That's the room, the window that Billy the Kid propped himself up on and said, "Hello, Bob," and shot Deputy Bob Ollinger. So it's got the sun facing it. It's the side on the left. It's the top right window. These stairs weren't here back then. That deck up there was. Billy the Kid strode out on that deck and looked around and called out, and there was no one that was complaining about him killing Bob Ollinger. This is the Lincoln County Jail, now known as the Lincoln County Museum. This beautiful town. As we look down to the left, back to the back was probably the outhouse where he probably got his gun. An old church, some old houses. And right there is the Wortley Hotel, a sign for it, and Wortley Hotel is to the left of it. Sheriff Ollinger came running across this road, wasn't paved of course. He thought Deputy Bell shot Billy the Kid trying to escape. Billy the Kid called out, "Hey Bob," and shot him. We'll go over to where he was shot. Ollinger died here, shot by Billy the Kid. Right there, the very window. Billy the Kid stood out that window. "Hello, Bob." And Bob Ollinger said, "I'm killed." This is the famous Lincoln County Museum. I'm going to go on top of the steps, show you the view that Billy the Kid had. Billy the Kid came out of these doors. He strode out here, as I said before. The stairs down to the left and right weren't there, but this old banister was here, and this is what he looked at. He strode out here. These buildings were here. Looked out at the hills and mountains. No one said anything negative. No one tried to capture him. Billy the Kid strode around here, proud of being free and happy to have killed Ollinger before Ollinger had the pleasure of killing him. Really bright, but here's another view of the museum. And in the back was the old outhouse where Billy the Kid got his gun so he could escape. This is the famous Lincoln County Jail. Upstairs, part of the Lincoln County Jail, there's the window that Billy the Kid opened, or was open since it was April, and shot Bob Ollinger. This was Billy the Kid's room right here. They have a white line on the floor. I'm standing inside his room. Oops, now I am. And this white line designates Billy the Kid's area of the Lincoln County Jail. These were his walls. That was his famous window. This was Billy the Kid's world while he was here. I'm going to stand on the original part, so I'm standing where Billy the Kid stood. Billy the Kid's world right here. These are the walls he touched, and the windows he looked out. That window, and these walls, and this window. They have, you can't see very well, but the leg irons supposedly were cut off of him after he escaped here. You can't see it very well, but this was the view, and it was a commanding view of the Wortley Hotel where Ollinger had gone with some prisoners to eat. And he had a very excellent view of Ollinger as Ollinger crossed over, thinking that Bell had killed Billy the Kid. After killing Ollinger and Bell, these are the doors that Billy the Kid walked through to go out on that deck. These were the doors that went to that deck. And he was strutting around, happy to be free, as anybody would be who's waiting to be hanged. There's the window from which he shot Bob Ollinger. Here's the way he came right here, where I am, and turned and walked out those doors right there. Important part of the Lincoln County Jail is where Billy the Kid was, and where the things happened. There's the window, and you're looking at his room. I have touched the walls, the window, and walked on the actual floor. Someday you need to do that too. Lincoln is a must for every Old West Billy the Kid fan to see. Oh, there's the window he shot Ollinger out, and this is the window he most likely looked out the most, because you could look out at town front. These were his two, this was his whole life, these two windows. And then these walls, I've touched all the windows and walls. I've walked on the very wood. I've gone through the hall, but previously I've walked through those doors. This is Billy the Kid, Lincoln County Jail. This is a stairway that Deputy Bell ran down. There's a bullet hole down at the very bottom. Still, the hole is still there, preserved, and Bell died outside the stairs. I'll take you there. These are the spurs that Velazquez Segura gave to Billy the Kid for breaking him out of jail in San Lazario. That is a true story. The facts were distorted a little bit, so what? That's a true story. Billy the Kid broke Mel Segura out of the San Lazario jail, and here are the spurs. Deputy Bell ran down the stairways and ran out this door, ran out to the side, and you see that stone there. He died right there. This is the back of the Lincoln County Jail. J.W. Bell died there. He was running for his life. Somewhere out here, probably fairly close to where I am, there was an outhouse that Billy the Kid used, and probably got a gun there hidden for him so he could escape from this jail. This is the backside of the Lincoln County Jail. And this is the grounds that Billy the Kid, he would walk out here to go to the restroom. More than likely somewhere right in here. And Bell fell dead right there. View of the window from which Billy the Kid shot Ollinger. There's the window. There's where Ollinger died. And here's the Wortley Hotel where Pat Garrett had come from. There's a close-up of it. It is a bed and rest. It operates now. A wonderful place to stay. Good proprietorship. Good fellowship. Good food. Great place to stay. Lincoln County is one of the greatest treasures in the United States of America and should be preserved and visited at every opportunity. It is a wonderful place. I'm not glorifying killing people, but Billy the Kid was a man about to be hanged. I think we can all identify with what we might do were we in the same situation. There you have where James Bell died. Ollinger died. The front where Billy the Kid stood in the front, there's the window he shot him from. Now back here, Billy the Kid would come out here to go to the restroom. And there's the famous Wortley Hotel. Bob Ollinger, not knowing what was in store for him, He who had threatened Billy the Kid to shoot him got shot with his own gun. Came running across that street, halted, looked up. "Hello, Bob." "I'm dead." Billy the Kid killed him and escaped from the Lincoln County Museum. Murder's not wonderful, but I think we all understand survival and what we would do ourselves. I will go back in. This is the Wortley Hotel. Today a restaurant and bed and rest. You cannot believe it. Come here and spend the night. Look them up on the website, Wortley Hotel. Come here and spend the night. Walk the streets of Lincoln like Billy the Kid did. Yep. Marshall Ollinger came walking out of here, running really. He ran across this street, straight in the direction of that room. Billy the Kid waiting on top floor in that room. That's the most beautiful building in America as far as I'm concerned. And this is one of the most, if not the most beautiful and authentic towns in America. You need to come to Lincoln. You need to see it. You need to preserve it. It's part of all our history. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, well-kept, maintained, authentic city. Enough of Billy the Kid and Lincoln County Courthouse. This building sums it all up. All these old houses down here, Billy the Kid's been in all of them. That were there, of course, and they were. He's been in all of them. He's walked these streets, ridden on horses in these streets, had shootouts in this street. Sheriff Brady was killed here. Goodness, right here on this very street. Right here on this very street. Lincoln County War was fought here, McSween store. This is history, folks. You need to visit. Another view of the Lincoln County Jail. The street that Brady and them strolled down when they got shot. The Wortley Hotel. And some other old ruins. It is just really unbelievable to be here in Lincoln, New Mexico. This is the site of the McSween home where Billy the Kid came blazing out the back. The famous painting of him blazing out the back. He ran down there into the creek and through the hills to safety. Several people were killed. This is a Tunstall McSween store. As you can see, Lincoln does pretty good business. People come through here all the time. Lincoln, this is the Tunstall McSween store. A very beautiful place. It's also a museum. You need to see it. And you need to get down and you need to walk right down there and just feel Billy the Kid running out the back door of that burning McSween home. Unbelievable. Side of the McSween home. Right here, folks. Right here. Billy the Kid ran right down through those rocks, through those trees, through those woods. Ran for his life, guns blazing. People shooting at him like you couldn't imagine. Not a scrape. Site of his great escape from McSween home. Dolan of the Santa Fe faction, his home. The old Dolan home. The old Dolan home. Right across the street from the McSween Tunstall store. Lincoln, New Mexico. McSween store. And the McSween, where his house used to be. Can you imagine the history that took place right here? The Lincoln County War and Billy the Kid. More of Lincoln, the old terrain, used to fight Indians and used in the Lincoln County 5-day war. Now it's peaceful and quiet. Come to Lincoln and walk its streets. Spend the night here at one of its several beds and rests. And just feel the history at night. Walk these streets at night. It's perfectly safe. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Hard to imagine all the warfare that took place right here. Lincoln, New Mexico. This is the Casa de Patron. It's a bed and rest here in Lincoln. Beautiful old house. Patron. A little stucco across the street. Just can't get enough of this history. Another old house there. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And there's the street. Lincoln, New Mexico. I'm in San Patricio, where Billy the Kid spent a lot of his time, went to dances and had girlfriends. There's an old church, and more than likely he probably attended it. A Hispanic lady last time I was here told me that Billy the Kid used to come over the pass to come to church here. San Patricio, New Mexico. Much like it was when Billy the Kid was here years ago. Hasn't changed much, just been littered more. This is San Patricio. Clothes hung out. Goats and chicken. Firewood cut. This is what Billy the Kid, there's an old outhouse there too. This is what Billy the Kid experienced. This is Billy the Kid's old hangout. Patricio. All these old houses are still the same. They were just like this when he was here. No telling what dances he went to, what girlfriends he had here, what buildings he's been in. They say that Billy the Kid attended this old church here too. And used to have long talks with the priest. But he did. Kid had girlfriends down by the river here at San Patricio. Here's the little river here where he used to swim and fish. These very waters. The water's different, of course. But there it is. We walk it out here in the middle of this bridge. You too can come to Lincoln and stand right here on this bridge and look down the creek where Billy the Kid played, swam. There's no casa. Back up there's the Hurd Gallery, the Peter Hurd Art Gallery. And there's the river that Billy the Kid played in. Fished and swam. Brought his girlfriends down here. Probably right where we stand. This is the famous Hurd Gallery, Art Gallery in San Patricio. This is a Benedictine resort now, retreat. All these buildings were here when Billy the Kid was here. Billy the Kid walked down this old road, down to the river, dated girls, and went to dances in different buildings here, went to parties, had dinner. I'd say a great number of these buildings here. This is Billy the Kid territory. He might have been serious when he was in Lincoln, but he was playing and having fun and enjoying life when he was in San Patricio. I encourage everyone to come to the Peter Hurd Gallery in San Patricio and look at all these old buildings. It's just unbelievable. They are as they have always been. Another old building in San Patricio, just like it was, still is. It says Benson Fine Art down here. There's a whole complex of old buildings that they're using for art. This is the way it always has been right in here. I can just imagine that big old building, the dances being held there. I can imagine Billy the Kid dancing right there in that building. It's unbelievable. Look around. Let me walk this a little bit. Look around. See how peaceful and serene it is. How country and how beautiful it must have been. Billy the Kid and his Hispanic girlfriends. Again, I can just imagine a dance being held in that. That's a very large building. Look at this old building. Look at that old building. Look at this old area. I tell you folks, Billy the Kid was here and walked these streets. He was courting and romancing and dancing when he walked these streets. But he's been in these houses for dinner, for dating, for dancing. This is Billy the Kid territory, San Patricio, New Mexico. Visit it just like it was. These are the hills and valleys and mountains of San Patricio. Much like they were when Billy the Kid walked its streets. The village of San Patricio, New Mexico. Ranch, the Coe Ranch on Highway 70, going from San Patricio to Ruidoso, a famous Coe Ranch, the friends of Billy the Kid. This is a John H. Tunstall murder site, pretty close to it. It started the Lincoln County War. I'm on Highway 70, past George Coe's ranch, headed toward Ruidoso. And out here is where the ambush took place and the murder. This is the legendary Fox Cave on US 70, which also is on the way toward Ruidoso, and it's past the Tunstall murder site. It's been bricked and glassed in the front, but that's a cave, and Billy the Kid and other cowboys, to get out of the weather or the rain or the heat, would get their horses up inside there and take them in there and rest up. This is the old Fox Cave, a very beautiful place. Highway 70 on the way to Ruidoso. There's a billboard for Billy the Kid when you enter Ruidoso Downs. This is Billy the Kid country. This is Billy the Kid bypass. This is the Billy the Kid National Scenic Byway Visitor Center and Museum. It's located in Ruidoso Downs, just when you come in on 70. You can see the thing on the wall about the Billy the Kid Scenic Byway poster there. They have a Billy the Kid Casino. They have the Ruidoso Downs horse track, which you know Billy the Kid liked to race horses. So this is part of the horse track and everything in here. It's just really beautiful. Hubbard Museum of the American West. Oh my goodness, how can anybody skip the Hubbard Museum? It is beautiful. They also were involved with the Lincoln Museums. This is beautiful. You need to go to Ruidoso Downs, and you need to see the Hubbard Museum and the Billy the Kid National Visitor Center. And you need to go to the Billy the Kid Casino, the Inn of the Mountain Gods Casino, and the Ruidoso Downs racetrack. This is Billy the Kid territory. Again, another side of the Billy the Kid National Scenic Byway Visitor Center. The racetrack, the Hubbard Museum of the American West, open daily. Again, another view of the entrance to the Billy the Kid Casino and the Ruidoso Downs racetrack. There's some snow-capped mountains if you see back in the back there. It's beautiful here, absolutely beautiful in Ruidoso Downs. There's the casino down in there and the horse track. They have a great buffet at the casino, all you can eat, and you can sit outside on the plaza and look over the horse tracks. Very beautiful. The Billy the Kid Casino on Highway 70 in Ruidoso. For those of you who like flea markets, there's one of the most outstanding flea markets in the United States across the freeway there from it. Billy the Kid Casino in Ruidoso Downs, New Mexico. This is one more shot of the Billy the Kid Casino. It's unbelievable. Billy the Kid would never imagine that poor old cowboy from Texas and New Mexico and Arizona, and wherever else he traveled all the world, would have his name on a beautiful casino like this in a beautiful city like this in New Mexico. I'm in Ruidoso. This is the original Ruidoso Mill, the birthplace of Ruidoso, the old mill. And it's a very quaint, beautiful place. It's got souvenirs of all kinds. So on Highway 48 north off of 70 in Ruidoso. Billy the Kid once hid in a flour barrel here, hiding from soldiers. Such was his stature, being small. And so they have a little slogan here called Billy the Kid's Hideout. It's busy here. This is beautiful Ruidoso. When you go to Billy the Kid country, hi, I hope they're friendly, you need to come and go to Ruidoso and Ruidoso Downs. And again, do not miss the old mill at Ruidoso where Billy the Kid used to come and he hid in a barrel of flour from the soldiers. Or of Ruidoso. You see the mountains in the background where people snow ski. They are snow covered. This is a beautiful, charming resort town, and it's just fantastically beautiful. As you can see by the business, it's very busy. It's old New Mexican, and the mountains around it are just absolutely beautiful. Ruidoso, New Mexico. I'm Jannay Valdez. I hope you enjoyed this tape. It's as homespun as you can get them. But I certainly enjoyed, as you would yourself, a trip to New Mexico. And I want to tell you that you can't beat New Mexico. You can't beat walking places that Billy the Kid walked. Touching the walls like in the old Lincoln County Jail. You just can't beat Lincoln, New Mexico. I urge all Americans who love history, go to Ruidoso, go to Ruidoso Downs, drive the scenic Billy the Kid byway, go see Lincoln, go see Ruidoso, go to San Patricio, walk where Billy the Kid walked. Hope you enjoyed the tape. Like I said, it's just homey like we are here, but I hope you like it, and I hope you make a trip to New Mexico. Thank you.